Hello and welcome to Hext Encountered. My name's Joe. So it's been a little bit since I've done a video because I was kind of sick. Nothing major, but just not able to kind of get out there and do anything, or get in here and do anything, I guess I should say. But I'm planning on doing a series, and I wanted to talk about that. So this will be a pretty short video, just kind of an introduction. I'm going to talk about what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to do a series, but it's going to be kind of broken up. I'll do things in between pieces of it. Just to kind of keep things going and not kind of focus too much on one thing, because I feel like, you guys would probably prefer to see a variety of stuff instead of having me focus on just one thing. So to get to the point, I guess, I would say that this is going to be a series focusing on platoon level tactical games. So I have 4 games. This isn't meant to be like an exhaustive list of everything that's available at the platoon level. This is going to be more just 4 that I have, obviously. And, I know there will be other ones, and people will probably say, hey, why didn't you do XYZ or whatever? But I kind of wanted to keep it manageable and, kind of in-house with what I've already got. So I'm going to go through the games. They're all going to be, I'm going to try to keep the theme, the subject matter kind of similar. So it's all going to be Eastern Front, World War II, and it's 2 will be kind of Barbarossa, early war, and the other 2 will be Kursk, which is kind of mid-war. And so you can see kind of, the systems, and, maybe at the end I'll kind of do a wrap-up and explain what I think are the strengths and maybe the weaknesses of all the various options, what I think is the best. But the idea is to kind of give you guys a look at all of these games in one kind of setting, kind of apples to apples type of thing. So that you can kind of draw your own conclusions about what might be, right for you. If you don't have these, or maybe you tried one of them, but maybe not another one, you can compare and contrast in your head, kind of thing. So what games are we talking about here? So first, and I'm not going to necessarily do them in this order, but this is how I stacked them. So we have here Fire in the Steppe from Avalanche Press. This is Panzer Grenadier system. This one is basically Barbarossa, so it is early war, basically in the Ukraine. So it's Ukraine, 1941, early summer, June, and shortly thereafter, probably some in July or whatever. I think there's 40 scenarios in here, so I'll pick something to play in that. And that, as I said, is one of the early war games. So that will be one of them. And again, I don't know which one I'll do first. It might be that one, but it might be something else. So another one we have, and this one is Kursk, is Stalin's Triumph. This is Nations at War from Lock and Load. And I'm sorry, I don't have the shrink wrap off of this yet. I did pick up all 3 of these Nations at War games, and the compendium. So we've got a ton of stuff with this. And I'm looking forward to trying this one out. But this is Kursk. So this would be, obviously July of 43. And as I'm doing this, it's June, late June. So this is kind of a timely thing too. And if I hadn't gotten sick, I probably would have started this earlier to coincide with the anniversary of the Eastern Front War, and the Great Patriotic War, as the Russians would call it. The beginning of that on June 22nd. But like I said, I wasn't feeling great, so I didn't do it. Now we've got a 3rd game. This one goes back to Barbarossa, and it's a different series. So far we've got Panzer Grenadier and Nations at War. This is the War Storm series, and this is Paths to Hell. So this one obviously says right on it, Operation Barbarossa, June to December of 41. So this is War Storm series, and that will be another one that I will do. So that is the 2nd Barbarossa one. Now, this last one is something I've already done for the channel. You guys have heard me talk about this game and the company that it comes from and how much I kind of enjoy their stuff and everything. So even though I've already played this, I'm going to play something that, another scenario that I haven't done for video, just to kind of get this one in there as well, because it is one of my favorites. And that would be this guy right here. So this is Mark H. Walker's Platoon Commander Deluxe, The Battle of Kursk. So this is Flying Pig Games. This is also Kursk, obviously. So in a way, it's kind of fitting that this game and Nations at War kind of go together as far as Kursk, because obviously Mark Walker, he was the guy who ran Lock and Load, and now that he's moved on, he has Flying Pig Games. So those are the 4 games I'm going to do, and again, the plan is to kind of do a look at all 4. So I'll probably show components and talk about mechanics and things like that, and do a little bit of gameplay. Probably not an entire playthrough, because I don't want to go too, take too much time and bore you guys. So I just kind of want to get things to where you can get a sense of the game, sense of the components, etc., etc. Some of these systems are relatively new. Some of them are older. They kind of vary in age, I guess. Panzer Grenadier's been around since 1998. They're on version 4 of their rules. So that's probably the old man on the block. But, Nations at War has been around for a bit. Warstorm series obviously goes back a little bit. And even Platoon Commander, rather, has been around for a little bit, too. But probably the least longest, I think. And that's totally my impression. I could be wrong, whatever. So look for something in this series to come relatively quickly. I do have other things I want to do. I currently have By Iron and Blood on the table that I wanted to do some play stuff and a review on that. Then I did do the first look on that. That's the most recent video I did before this one. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. It's an excellent game. It's a Herman Luttman game. I don't want to digress too much, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of mix and match. Maybe not match. I'm just going to mix it up. So we'll have, some platoon tactical stuff. Then maybe I'll do something from a different war, different genre, maybe operational. I've got a lot of things I want to get to the table that I haven't played yet. And some new stuff that's come in and will be coming in the near future. So there'll be a lot of, as I said, mixing it up a little bit to kind of keep things fresh and different. So I think I've talked long enough. You've stared at my ugly mug long enough. I'm going to let you guys go. Feel free to comment. I always like to hear what people think. Let me know. Maybe you have one of these games you'd like to see first. You can let me know that. I'll take that into account. As I said, I don't really know which one I'll play first. I don't really have any strong feelings one way or the other. I'm looking forward to playing all of them. Obviously, I've played Platoon Commander the most, and I played around with a couple of the other games, Nations at War, not Stalin's Triumph, but the other. As I said, I've got all 3 of those, White Star Rising and Desert Heat. Those are the other 2. So I have played that system, so that one would be an easier one to spin up for video because I've already been familiar with it. Warstorm series and Panzer Grenadier I have yet to play. So this will be fresh to me, fresh maybe to you guys. Who knows, right? All right. So that's going to do it. As I said, feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. As always, I appreciate you guys taking your time to watch, and I hope you enjoy the series. And that'll do it for now. So until next time, my name's Joe. This has been Hexed Encountered, and as always, happy gaming.